Hello there, welcome to NTV English News Bulletin. I am Bhavana Kese. In the beginning, we have the headlines. Deadline to form new government in Kosi province expiring at 5 p.m. today. Parties in Lasti's efforts to garner majority. Dengue infection continues to spread with cases detected in 70 districts. 10 districts affected most, highest number of cases reported in Kosi. At least 16 killed and several fear trapped after a crane collapsed in Maharashtra of India. 5 killed in religious classes in another Indian state of Haryana. And Australia advances to last 16 of Women's World Cup, beating Canada, England, United States and the Netherlands to attempt to seal knockout places. Welcome back. You are with the NTV English News Bulletin. Now to the news in details. The deadline to form a new provincial government in Kosi province is expiring at 5 p.m. today. However, uncertainty looms over government formation as the parties have failed to seal a deal and find a way to muster a majority. Kosi province chief Parsuram Khapung on Friday called the parties to stake their claim as per Clause 2 of the Article 168 of the Constitution of Nepal after the Supreme Court revoked Nepali Congress's parliamentary party leader Uttap Thapa-led coalition government on Thursday. Nepali Congress's leader Thapa was appointed chief minister on July the 6th following the collapse of CPNU-ML parliamentary party leader Hikmat Karki's government. The Supreme Court ruled that the government formed in Kosi was against the constitution and ordered to initiate the process of forming the new government on basis of majority by today. In the 93-member provincial assembly, a majority of votes is required to form a government. The ruling coalition comprises 29 members from the Nepali Congress, 13 from the Mao Center, 4 from the Unified Socialist and 1 from the Janata Samajwadi Party in the Kosi Provincial Assembly. The meeting of the House of Representatives has been rescheduled for 1 p.m. today. Monday's slated meeting was deferred due to disagreement over the formation of a high-level committee to investigate the truth about gold smuggling. Speaker Devraj Ghimire postponed the meeting due to the opposition party, CPNU-ML's demand for a probe committee on the 1 quintal of gold smuggled from Tribhuvan International Airport's Customs Office. The ruling parties are not ready for the committee formation. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal has been actively seeking solutions to smoothen the parliament proceedings after repeated obstructions from the parties. In this regard, Prime Minister Dahal held a meeting with the main opposition leader KP Sharma Oli on Monday. A meeting of the Constitutional Council is taking place today at 4 p.m. The Constitutional Council meeting is expected to recommend the next Chief Justice of the country as the incumbent Chief Justice Hari Krishna Karki is set to retire on Friday. Earlier on Sunday, Prime Minister Dahal held consultations with the main opposition party CPNU-ML chairperson KP Sharma Oli and coalition partner Nepali Congress's President Sher Bahadur Dewa to finalize the date for the Constitutional Council's meeting. Well, with this update, time to go for a short break, but still to come we have. Welcome back. You are with the NTV English News Bulletin. Now to more updates from the home front. Dengue infection continues to spread across the country with the cases detected in 70 districts as of now. Among the over 5,000 detected dengue cases, half of them have been detected in Sunsari. Sunsari, Dhading, Kaski, Darzula, Kathmandu, Sankhwasabha, Magdi, Morang, Kanchanpur and Jhapa are the most affected districts. The Kosi province is the most affected with 3,821 dengue cases, while Madhya province has the least number at 26. 4 persons have lost lives to dengue since last January in Nepal. Efforts are on in coordination with the local levels to control the infection. As its part, a search and destroy campaign has been launched wherein larvae of the virus-carrying mosquitoes are searched and destroyed. Awareness programs have also been launched. The Health Ministry says required human resources have been mobilized and treatment intensified intensified, while test kits have been sent to local labels as per the demand. Today marks the World Breastfeeding Day. Various programs are being organized across the country to promote awareness about breastfeeding. The week is an annual celebration held in the first week of August every year, and it is celebrated in more than 120 countries. This year's theme is based on Let's Make Breastfeeding and Work, which highlights the maternity rights and protection. The theme focuses on breastfeeding and work, providing a strategic opportunity to advocate for essential maternity rights that support breastfeeding. Breastfeeding is considered as the protective way for newborns and ensure their good health. It is also encouraged as it boosts immune system in infants' body to overcome various diseases while growing. According to health experts, infants must be breastfed within an hour of giving birth and should be continued until 6 months exclusively. According to the World Health Organization, only 44% of infants are breastfed exclusively, and if the breastfeeding and awareness importance can be promoted, over 8 million infants' life can be saved yearly. Well, with this update, now time to have the latest from the international front. At least 16 workers were killed and several others were feared trapped after a crane collapsed during the construction of a bridge in the western Indian state of Maharashtra. Television footage showed mangled remains of the crane sprawled on the grounds between the pillars of the bridge near Shahapur area, about 80 kilometers away from the state capital, Mumbai. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's office has announced relief assistance of 200,000 rupees for the families of the deceased and 50,000 rupees for the injured. In another incident, at least 5 people, including 2 personnel, have been killed and dozens injured in religious clashes that had broke out during a procession by a Hindu nationalist in the northern Indian state of Haryana. The violence erupted when a Hindu religious procession passed through the Muslim-dominated New region. A curfew has been imposed in New Town, where the clash took place. With this update, time to go for a short break again, but still to come we have. Welcome back now to the other updates. China replaced 2 leaders of an elite unit managing its nuclear arsenal, triggering speculation of a purge. General Li Yuchao, who headed the People's Liberation Army's PLA rocket force unit, and his deputy had disappeared for months. Former Deputy Navy Chief Wang Hubin and party's Central Committee member Su Siseng were named as replacements. This is the biggest irregular shake-up in Beijing's military leadership in almost a decade. The U.S. has urged Afghanistan's ruling Taliban to reverse policies responsible for the deteriorating human rights situation in the country, particularly for women, girls, and vulnerable communities. It also pressed for the release of detained U.S. citizens during talks with the hardline Islamist group in Qatar. The Taliban said they wanted travel restrictions lifted for their leaders. The group swept back to power in Afghanistan in August 2021. This followed the chaotic withdrawal of U.S. troops from the war-ravaged country. The US Department of State said talks with senior Taliban representatives and technocratic professionals had been held over Sunday and Monday in Doha. The US wants the Taliban to reverse bans on secondary education for girls and employment for women. Venice would be added to a list of World Heritage Sites in danger, the UN's cultural agency has said. The iconic Italian city is at the risk of irreversible damage from the overwhelming tourism, overdevelopment, and the rising sea levels due to climate change, according to a report from UNESCO. A spokesperson for the Venice municipality said they will carefully read the proposal. They added it will then be discussed with the Italian government. Venice is known as La Serenissima, which translates to very serene, but that nickname no longer fits. The UNESCO blames the Italian authorities for a lack of strategic vision to solve the problems faced by one of Italy's most picturesque cities. More updates line up on the other side, but before that, let's have the highlights first. now to sports. Australia kept their Women's World Cup dream alive as they advanced to the last 16 stage by thrashing Canada. Hayley Raso scored twice, Mary Fowler was also on target, and Steph Catley netted a late penalty as the co-hosts impressed in a game they had to win to avoid elimination. Nigeria's draw with the Republic of Ireland means Australia will go forward to face the runner-ups in the Group D, who could still be England, at the Stadium Australia in Sydney on 7th August. Meanwhile, England, the United States and the Netherlands will attempt to seal knockout stage places at the Women's World Cup as Group D and Group E wrap up today. European champions England will move into the last 16 as Group D winners if it avoids defeat against China, whereas US will meet Portugal. Wong Sam-in won the Macau's delegation's first gold medal at the World University Games underway in China, Chengdu, after securing a bronze medal for Macau delegation the day earlier. The Macau athlete finished the Kung Fu Nan Kuan event with a total of 9,643 points, 10 more than second-placed Daria Latiseva of Uzbekistan and 13 more than China's Song Chui Fang. Before the Wong Sam-in event, Macau's Cheong Ling Chit won the silver medal in the Sabre Kung Fu event behind China's Cao Mao Yuan. Ong Weng Yan won the silver medal for Macau in the Sabre Kung Fu event. With this update, we come to the end of this English News Bulletin. But before we say goodbye, let's have a quick reminder of the major stories. The deadline to form new government in Kosi province expiring at 5 p.m. today. Parties in Lasti's efforts to garner majority. Dengue infection continues to spread with cases detected in 70 districts. 10 districts affected most, highest number of cases reported in Kosi. At least 16 workers killed and several fear trapped after a crane collapsed in Maharashtra of India. 5 killed in religious clashes in another Indian state of Haryana. And Australia advances to last 16 of Women's World Cup, beating Canada, England, United States and the Netherlands to attempt to seal knockout places. That's all we have in this edition of English News Bulletin, which I'll see you again with next round of English Bulletin at 6 in the evening. Till then, have a great time ahead and do stay tuned with us to catch the latest news updates and other programs. Namaste.